suppleness is important to exaggerate all fakes. Flexibility was improved by the early ball feeling and fast footwork exercises and is valuable to all players regardless of age. Feints and dummies and moves to beat opponents are often combined, and it is sometimes difficult to discern where one ends and the other begins. But for teaching purposes, we have divided them into separate categories. In the preceding part, the players concentrated on developing fakes. Now they complete the moves to beat their opponent. Dribbles undoubtedly create many of the most memorable moments in the game and can make scoring chances where none would otherwise exist without that skill. As soon as Maradona receives the ball, the crowd anticipates something special. Maradona is, of course, an exceptionally talented player. But as the exercises in this section show, even the very young, with practice, can learn many of the moves of the great players. The first move practiced is the scissors. A scissors move by the halfway line starts a play which ends in Van Basten scoring a memorable goal. Gerald Vandenberg of Ajax uses the scissors to beat his man. The player steps around the ball and takes it with the outside of the opposite foot. This move can be made around or over the ball. Three players scissors over the ball to the middle of a triangle, then take it with the outside of the other foot to the next corner. Three couples in a 15-yard triangle. One player of each couple beats a passive defender using a move and passes to the next attacker, and the sequence continues. The double scissors made around or over the ball. This is the same move as before, but made with alternate feet while the ball is pushed forward. This move will be ineffective if performed too close to the opponent. The player pulls the ball across the body with the inside of the foot, simultaneously steps over it, and takes it with the outside of the opposite foot. Two players alternately beat their partners with this move and change roles. The player steps over the ball, then pulls it through with the inside of the trailing foot and makes a scissors with the step-over foot. The group performs the move upfield using alternate feet. Three players practice the move taking turns being attacker and defender. Skilled players in possession of the ball always have the advantage, as they know the next move while their opponent can only guess. Rivellino of Brazil demonstrates the move that is named after him and which he used to make many shooting and passing opportunities. The young player practices the Rivellino move, stepping over the ball from the outside to the inside and taking the ball with the outside of the step-over foot. The move is made to the middle of the triangle and on to the next corner. Three attackers, each with a ball, make the Rivellino move with alternate feet to beat two defenders in quick succession. The player makes a Rivellino step over, followed by a scissors with the same foot, and takes the ball with the outside of the other foot. These boys have already developed good all-round flexibility and coordination, which is not only important in all the moves, but is also developed by them. Stepping behind the ball as if to take it with the outside of the foot, then taking it with the outside of the other foot in the opposite direction is one of the easiest moves for the young players to learn. Two couples take turns to make the move against each other. The skill developed after a relatively short time, especially in such young players, is impressive. More examples our young players can copy. Clodoaldo of Brazil beats 4 opponents in 10 yards. Cruyff goes past the goalkeeper before scoring. Didier Sis of France, determined to go for goal. Archie Gemmill of Scotland beats 4 Dutch defenders before scoring. Quick players with close control are difficult to defend against, as this goal resulting from a dribble shows. Josimar, the Brazilian defender, shows that forwards are not the only players who can dribble. He beats 4 Polish defenders and scores. Another talented Brazilian defender, Edinho, shows excellent control before scoring. Van der Kerkhoff of Holland scores after beating his man in a packed penalty area. Van Basten shows the value of dribbling skill in the penalty area. The player cuts the ball with the inside of the foot and takes it on with the inside of the opposite foot while moving upfield. Three players, each with a ball 3 yards apart, perform this move. Four players with 1 ball. The player with the ball beats the challenger with the move and passes. Maradona uses the same move the youngsters have just performed so well to beat 2 Italian defenders and carry the ball into the penalty area before shooting. While moving forward, the player pulls the ball across his body with the front part of the sole of the foot and carries it with the outside of the opposite foot. 4 players, each with a ball in a 10-yard square, go to the center and change direction using the move. 4 couples in a 10-yard square with a ball each. 1 player of each pair goes to the center and changes direction with the move and passes to the teammate at the next corner. One-on-one practices improve ball skills. They also develop coordination, speed, and stamina. Sir Stanley Matthews, one of soccer's all-time greats, was famous for a move the young player demonstrates here. The player fakes to take the ball inside, nudging it with the inside of the foot, then accelerates in the opposite direction, carrying the ball with the outside of the same foot. The group performs the Matthews move going upfield. Two players alternately practicing the move against their partners. The coach stresses the need for an explosive change of direction. Now we have the reverse of the Matthews move. The player fakes inside behind the ball, then steps outside and takes the ball in the opposite direction with the outside of the other foot. The players move on the coach's instruction. Every move can be used on both sides of the opponent simply by switching feet. The Puskas move, named after the great Hungarian forward. The player fakes a pass with the instep and pulls the ball back with the sole of the same foot and carries it in the opposite direction with the inside of the same foot. The move is practiced by the group, using both feet. These exercises allow the boys to practice their newly acquired moves. They are being encouraged to take initiative with a ball and use the moves they favor most. At the same time, defensive pressure is gradually increased. These boys, who are between 10 and 12 years old, are already able to perform the moves of some of the best players in the world. Three couples with 4 balls. 2 couples 20 yards apart from the third. The couples alternate between attackers and defenders.